In this video, we'll see how to deploy our models locally and privately. Sometimes when we work with models like ChatGPT, we need to send our private data to their clouds, and they might keep this data to train their models or just to see how the model works. And sometimes this is not what we want with our data because it's our private data and we prefer to keep it private as it is. So here we'll see two options. Do it locally, so we'll download the model and then run it on our computer, and then using HugginFace API. And for both of the options, we'll do it with HugginFace library, which is the one called transformers, and then with Langchain. Let's first install the libraries and load them. So here we can see that it's very simple to just run the models locally. First, you're going to be loading this model, which is Google Flan T5 base. If you have any doubt, we just go over here under HugginFace. And here we have the model card, all the explanation of how was the model trained and everything else. So you have even here the files. And if you would like to know more about these models or have other type of models, we just go for T5. And in our case, we are using the base one. We can see that we have larger models and even XL and XXL. In this case, when we work locally, the limitation will be based on our computer limitation, our resources. Sometimes those models are very big and takes a lot of time to download. So in this case, that's why we are using the base one. Once we define the model, we load the tokenizer, and here we load the model. And then we create this pipeline. We are just defining the text-to-text generation. We pass the model tokenizer and the maximum output length. For this section and the loading of the libraries, it might take you some time because we are just running it for the first time. As we can see here, the model is almost 1 GB big. After downloading the model and then running this, querying and asking the model is as simple as this one. We just select the model generator, we pass our question. As you can see, the answer is here in this JSON or this dictionary with the key generated text and within a list. And here we have our answer. We can try again with another type of question. What we will see is that now we are asking for a more complicated task, and because the model is not very big, it's not able to perform more complicated tasks like this one. So you can see it starts kind of fine, but then it goes a little bit worse. Now let's see how it goes with Langchain. Langchain is a library which helps us build applications with large language model. The model itself is just a part of the application. It's a very important one, but usually it needs to be connected with many other components. Langchain is created with the objective to help us make everything easier when we create this application with large language model. It's true that in this case is not going to help us a lot, and as we have seen before, doing it with HugginFace is already simple. But if you are creating any application using Langchain, thanks to now this tutorial, you will be able to integrate this model in your applications and using them locally. So as we can see, we just need to load HugginFace pipeline from Langchain and pass this model generator, which is the pipeline we have defined here. Once we have created this local large language model, again, using the model is very simple. And here we see the first difference between Langchain and HugginFace. That here is just returning the plain answer as this one, while in this answer we have this JSON or this dictionary with the keys within a list. So as we can see, the answer has been parsed. Then we do again the same for this answer. And here we have the answer. So we have already seen how to download the model and use it in our computer locally. As we have seen, it's very simple. But we have one important limitation, which is our computer. If we want to use bigger models in our computer, we cannot do it because we are limited to its own resources. Now we are going to be using HugginFace API, which is a private API that our data will not be shared with anyone. Let's go to HugginFace API. We need to use this HugginFace an API token. In order to get it, we just go to HugginFace. If we don't have an account, we just have to create one. We go to settings, and under access token, we create new token. We generate the token and then we copy it. We have two options. Change this with the value we have copied and then uncomment this line. Or the second option I will be doing is create a file like this one where you have this HugginFace API token, and here we will have the value instead of this one. Once we have this file, we just come over here and copy our file. One thing we need to do is call the name env with a dot before the name. One possible thing is that once we add this dot in front of the name, it's going to disappear the file. This is because we haven't checked over here to see the hidden files. And now once we have this, we are ready to load our variables. And here, once we have true, everything works fine. In order to do requests to the model using the API, again, it's very, very simple. We just need to load this InferenceAPI, define the model. In this case, because we are not limited to our resources, we can use larger models like this one. And then we just need to pass our token. Here we define the prompt. As we can see, it's a little bit more structured than previous. Here we have the question, and each time we change the question, it goes over here in this prompt or this template, and then it goes like this way. That's the question, and that's the answer we would like to receive from the model. And here we are expecting the model to finish the sentence. So let's see what's the result. And there we go. Here we have the answer from a bigger model than the previous one. Again, because we are using a HugginFace library, we can see that the results are not parsed and it's within a dictionary within a list. If we want to use Langchain, we define the template as we did before. And here we are creating something new, which is the prompt template. This is going to help us just define the templates we'll be using for our model. Because if we use this prompt template with the model, we can create a chain. And in this chain, we are just defining again the prompt here previously defined and the model, which is the T5 large, and some model arguments. And basically, once we create this chain, the thing is that each time we run the chain and we pass a question like this one, this question is going to go over this template, change the prompt, and then pass this new prompt to the model that we have defined here. This is why it's a little bit more simple to use it this way. So as we can see here, we pass the question, we run the chain, and we have the answer, again with the information parsed. We do the same over here, and here we are with the results. We are using the HugginFace API, which is a free service. Sometimes because we are using a free service, it might be a little bit slow, or some requests might not be fulfilled. If in some case we would like to have our own resources and we would like to be sure that our request will be fulfilled, we can do that by paying a little bit so we have our own resource and our own private inference endpoint. So we have seen how to deploy our model locally. First, downloading the files, and the second option was using the HugginFace API, which is in the cloud, but it's a private cloud. In the next video, we will deploy our models with Amazon Web Service SageMaker. This service allows us to deploy our models on the cloud. Even though it's the cloud, it's going to be our private cloud, and we'll be able to work with our private data. So I hope you had some fun with this video, you learned something new, and see you in the next one.